Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida insurance update.
Hello. This is Roshonda, agency owner with the Isom Insurance Group here in the Sunshine State of Florida, back again with another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026, Hump Day. And if you felt a little shift in the air yesterday, no, it wasn't the weather. It was Tallahassee. Because of Tuesday, January 13th, the Florida legislature officially kicked off the 2026 legislative session, and insurance is once again front and center. Auto insurance, property insurance, citizens, roofs, rates, even artificial intelligence and claims handling. So today's quick bite is a legislative radar episode. What's been filed, what's moving, what actually matters, and what Florida homeowners and drivers should realistically pay attention to right now. Let's get into it. Let's start with the issue that refuses to leave the chat. Personal injury protection coverage. Again, PIP. Yes, that's PIP. For years, Florida lawmakers have tried to repeal the no-fault auto insurance system, and 2026 is no different. The primary Senate bill is SB 522 filed, where SB 522 stands right now. As of December the 1st, 2025, SB 522 has been referred to three committees: banking and insurance, this is the big one, appropriations, and rules. If it stalls in banking and insurance, the bill doesn't move, period. What SB 522 does, it repeals Florida's motor vehicle no fault law, eliminates PIP, replace it with mandatory bodily injury liability coverage, specifically $25,000 per person, $50,000 per occurrence. When I was an agent in Georgia, that is the minimum limits. Georgia does not have no fault coverage, and the minimum bodily injury limits are $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. Here's the details most people miss, and it's important. The effective date is in SB 522 is currently January 1st, 2027, not July 2026, not immediately, January 2027. That tells us something. Lawmakers remember what happened last time. In 2021, a similar repeal passed and then it was vetoed. Why? Because of premium shock. There was concerns that rates would spike, coverage gaps would appear, medical access would be disrupted. This longer runway suggests legislators are trying to build a transition period, not flip a switch overnight. So this one is kind of interesting, and I've been in the market long enough to know that PIP has always been a hot topic. For years in insurance, we've been trying. I wouldn't say we. I just know it's been a big topic where a lot of carriers have been trying to say we need to get rid of it. They weren't able to really get rid of it, so they did a lot of reform with the coverage because what happens with it is there's a lot of fraud that happens with the medical side of it, where you got people. Before, it was people jumping in vehicles or claiming they were in an accident, going to a chiropractor, running up 10,000 in bills because that's the coverage amount, and the insurance company just getting massive bills at once, and they only have 30 days to pay it, but they never really knew about the claim, or it was never filed. We don't know if this person's in the car or not, but we have to pay it. So it was just a lot of kind of little fraud things like that happening with the coverage, that where from an insurance industry or insurance carriers, they have been kind of on board with kind of getting rid of it. But like I've kind of done research this time, and it seems like it's kind of a Some people want to get rid of it. Some people feel like the market, especially the auto insurance market, has been stabilizing. So they're just afraid that by getting rid of it now, when it's already built into the rates and we already can, kind of track and we know how much from an actuary standpoint that you're going to spend per year, and now you're doing a major change, just kind of let it ride now that rates are finally starting to stabilize. So on the House side, the bill to watch is HB 769. It was filed on December 15th, 2025, and it's essentially identical to SB 522. This matters because Senate bills without House momentum die, House bills without Senate support dies. So when companion bills move together, that's when things get real. January 9th was a key deadline. Final filings and amendments before session officially began. And here's where things get controversial. The amendment push. Some consumer advocates and medical groups are pushing for mandatory in-person medical evaluations before an insurer can deny benefits. The idea is to prevent automated or paper denials that block legit care. Why this matters politically: supporters of PIP repeal are trying to fix the structural flaws that doomed the last bill. They want to show premiums won't explode, consumers won't lose care access, the system won't just shift costs. That's a big one. This is as much convincing the governor. This is as much about convincing the governor as it is passing the legislation. While auto insurance grabs headlines, property insurance bills are doing quieter but very impactful work. HB 909, Citizens Reform. This bill adjusts how citizens' property insurance operates. Key highlights: it raises the dwelling replacement cost limit from 1 million to 1.5 million cap. So, and it applies in counties with little private market competition. So usually with citizens, in most counties, it's 699,000, but like down south, Miami-Dade, they did have a higher cap to be able to get coverage with citizens at 1 million. So what they're saying essentially here, what they're thinking about doing is raising that to 1.5 million, especially down in Miami-Dade, where there's not a lot of private market companies that are really writing new business down there. So citizens, a lot of times for customers down there, is their only option. But if they have a house that's really, nice and more on the upper scale, I wouldn't even say that, because really a normal house in Miami might be 1 million. So they may not be able to get coverage, but remember, this is a replacement, rebuild of the home, but they may not be able to get coverage for homes down there at 1 million because that's the cap. So if your home was over that, you didn't qualify for citizens, but there was really nowhere else for you to go because there's not many private market companies. So this is kind of a neat one. And it also established a rate glide path. That glide path allows up to 15% increases statewide, but caps increases at 10% in non-competitive counties. Translation: fewer shock renewals. I kind of like that one too, because in counties like I was saying with Miami-Dade, where there's not much private market options, if you're only at the mercy of citizens and then citizens is doing massive increases on you, that's not good for the consumer, not good for the policyholder. So this is kind of making it a little bit fair. HB 1399, Affiliate Transparency Bill. This bill requires insurers to prove that payments to their own affiliates, such as adjusters, software vendors, service companies, are fair and reasonable. That prevents inflated internal costs from being passed directly to consumers. HB 815/SB 808, Roofing Protection Bill. This one is huge for Florida homeowners. Insurers or insurance companies would be prohibited from non-renewing a policy solely because of roof age, as long as the roof has at least 5 years of useful life remaining. That could keep thousands of policies out of citizens. I really haven't seen many companies just non-renewing for roofs lately. Before this was a big deal. But lately in the market, I would say in the last 1-2 years, I really haven't seen a lot of non-renewals just simply due to roof. That really isn't happening so much so, but that is an interesting bill. SB 832 rate transparency reports. If insurers would have to clearly explain why they're asking for rate increases, what's driving those costs. So more sunlight equals more accountability. That was interesting. I don't see anything wrong with that one as well. One of the most interesting bills this session is SB 202 and HB 527, dealing with AI and claims handling. This bill would prohibit AI from being the sole reason for claim denial, require a qualified human professional to review and sign off. This is consumer protection catching up to technology. AI can assist, but it cannot replace human judgment when your claim is on the line. And I agree with that one as well. I believe that if the company is denying your claim, it should come from a human reviewing all the facts instead of just AI. Because sometimes there are nuances that maybe AI is not able to pick up on yet. So January the 13th through the 16th, first committee hearings, banking and insurance committee activity, and early amendments. This is the phase where bills get reshaped, language changes, and momentum builds or dies. So I'm really looking forward to this legislative session. I think there's some really good bills out there. If today's quick bite helped you make sense of what's happening in Tallahassee and how it could affect your auto or home insurance, now's a great time to review your coverage and make sure you're positioned properly. And to do so, please visit our website, which is right below me in this video. You can request a policy review. It's a no obligation policy review, or you can just request a quote. Insurance laws don't change overnight, but when they do change, preparation makes all the difference. If you found this episode helpful, please like this video, share it with your friends and neighbors, and drop a comment below with any insurance questions you may have or any legislation comments you may have about the upcoming legislative session that you would like for me to cover in the next video or in future episodes. Quick Bite episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional regarding your specific situation. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isominsurancegroup.com.